Hey there, my dudes. I hope everyone's doing well today, and welcome back to another video. This time it's going to be based around my Inktober stuff. I'm sorry about, the really crappy lighting, but I decided to do this at night, which was a terrible idea, but it was just like an impulse. Because I hadn't finished my Inktober, I was running late, and I was just like, you know what? I think I just want to record this video for no reason at all, but to record, to feel as if I wasn't, doing badly by not, finishing. It basically gave me a reason to finish the drawing because I didn't want to finish it at first. And yeah, it's kind of a weirder drawing, parasitic plants, but it was based on the drawing I did on a sticky noodle, sticky noodle. I mean, a sticky note doodle, not a sticky noodle. But yeah, it was based on that drawing. It's in my sketchbook tour. If you wanna go back and see it, I don't know, cause I'm too lazy to include it here. But yeah, that's what it was based off on. And this was the prompt overgrown. So yeah, at first I had no idea what to do, and I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna fail Inktober. And then I thought of this sticky note doodle, and I was just like, oh yeah, I can just do a bunch of overgrown parasitic plants. They're basically based off of Venus flytraps. I don't know if they actually look like them, but I like drawing them, so yeah, that's how this weird drawing came around. Probably also came around because, it's late at night, wasn't thinking clearly. But, it probably would have come around even if it had been daytime. Alright, so about the topic of this video, because I have a tendency to just ramble on and not focus on the topic. This time it'll be the pros and cons of sticking to a prompt or going solo, like not focusing on a prompt at all. Cause this Inktober I've been doing both, whereas the previous years I just went completely solo, completely ignoring the prompts because I just I wasn't even that good at sticking to Inktober, not even sticking to a prompt. So I probably would have given up if I had done the prompt list in my previous 2 years of doing it. So this year I had decided, you know what? I'm gonna do the official list and I'm gonna stick to it until the end of the month, which was pretty ambitious, but I've been known to be too ambitious in projects that I take on. Um, but yeah, it's been a wild ride sticking to those prompts, and I really enjoyed them at first, but in the end, it kind of dragged on, especially because apparently this year's Inktober was like really hard, as in the words. Like in previous years, apparently they were easier to stick to, but this year it's just like, oh no, ideas are running dry. Really difficult list. Which I will give it to that list. At first, it was like really easy words, at least for me, but eventually it started getting really hard, and I'm like, I have absolutely zero ideas. Alright, but sticking to the freaking topic. Okay, so I'd say the pros of sticking to a prompt is that it gives you a starting point to like base a sketch around. So before I start doing my actual Inktobers, like I'll do little thumbnails of sketches, and it basically gets you to sketch more and have something like not just sketching without an idea. It's like gives you something to sketch with an idea, if that makes any sense. Like you're not just mindlessly sketching. You have an end goal in your mind. And so that's what I really liked about the prompts. Like I could, draw different ideas. I'd scrap some. I really liked others, and it gave me ideas for future drawings. So yeah, it was really good when it came to getting you to draw if you like the word. Another pro is just basically it goes around with like the first point, like lets you use your imagination to like play around with different sketches and ideas. So yeah, that's kind of similar to the first point, but it gets you more like imaginative, like creative basically, because you only get one word. And like if you'll see like other artists' Inktobers. Like you'll have one artist Inktober and then someone else's, and like they're completely different ideas. Like some people have like these crazy ideas that kind of don't fit into the word, but they do, so like they get a pass. And then you'll have people that are just, that did something simple. Like they're both good Inktobers, but like you get to see kind of like a sneak peek of like what their mind is like. Like some people will do like really scary Inktobers. Some people will do like really cutesy stuff. So yeah, everyone uses like their imagination to get different ideas for the prompts. Another pro of sticking to the prompts is that it gets you out of your comfort zone. Like the first week of Inktober, I was definitely pushed out of my comfort zone. I even did some backgrounds on some of them, like nothing like hardcore, but it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone a lot more than when I had been going solo during Inktober, like not sticking to a prompt list. So yeah, if you want to get out of your comfort zone and draw different things that aren't just, like fan art, or maybe you want to do fan art or something, definitely try out Inktober with a prompt list. But don't feel like you have to. This is just if you want to like push yourself a little more. It can also be like a literal or like a creative way to fulfill a prompt. So this, again, these are similar points. Like this one ties into my second point. But like some people are like really literal when it comes to the words. So people will just like, oh man, I keep saying like a lot. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm not normally a person to keep saying like, but oh well. I'm just gonna try and not say like so much because I know that can get on people's nerves. Um, so what was I saying? Yeah, it's a literal or a creative way to fulfill a prompt. So literally, some people will just trying to find a different word other than like. So there's a prompt coming up that's like a ghost prompt. So some people will like literally draw a ghost, doodle a ghost, and some people will just go way out of their way to draw anything but a ghost, but still fulfill the prompt. So it's like really weird because you'll see creative interpretations of a drawing, and then you'll see literal interpretations of a drawing. Both are good, but it's just really fun to see other artists, different takes on a drawing, and because there's so many different types of artists, so you'll get so many different types of perspectives on one word, and it's so weird, but it's so nice as well. Um, Another pro of the prompts is that it can be really nice to to know what you're going to draw in advance, because you get to see this list of prompts like before Inktober even starts. So you basically get to start having ideas um about what you want to draw in advance, because when you do Inktober without like a list, and if you're like me, or I just don't think about it until the day of, which was a really bad idea on my part, because that's why I would struggle in my previous Inktober's. Um, but with a list, if you're the type of person to not really think about what you want to draw in advance, the list kind of gets you to think about things in advance, even if you're not that type of person. Because you'll look at a word and you'll start thinking, oh, I could draw this, like, or I could draw that. Like, I could include an OC in this situation, or I can do a character from my favorite game in this situation, or different things like that. So yeah, that's like a really nice thing about Inktober prompts, is that sometimes you don't have to think too hard about what you want to draw on the day of the word, because you already thought about it back before Inktober even started. So yeah, and that finishes off my list of pros for Inktober. Now to go with the cons, because yeah, there are definitely some cons with sticking to prompts. Um, yeah, sorry if you can hear my dog like hacking his lungs out in the background. he's he's an old man. All right. So yeah, con. It can be difficult to think up ideas for different prompts. So like I said, this year's Inktober was really rough, and some words, misfit, sling, uh, ornament. Well, there was more words that I'm still struggling to think up ideas of. Um, but yeah, it can be difficult to think up different ideas for words that you don't exactly care about. So it's just like it can feel like a chore sometimes to stick to a list. So that's another con. It's just when you don't want to do a prompt anymore and you have a different idea but it doesn't stick to the prompt, it can be a bastard to stick to the prompt. And it's just like, oh, I just want to give up. I hate this. And yeah, that's something about Inktober. It should be fun, but sometimes you just don't want to think about a drawing. It's just like you don't want to think about a word and do different creative ideas because people have busy lives, you know. It's just like some people are in college, some people work, some people are in high school, different lifestyles and different things to do in life. And some days you don't need to think about a drawing. You just want to relax uh, and draw some random thing and not have to think about, a word and different interpretations you can do. Um, that's another con about Inktober. It's just like, with a prompt. Drawings should be fun, but people can feel pressure to stick to the prompts. Um, they can sometimes feel like a failure if they don't stick to a prompt. And this isn't just me. This might sound like I'm just like, oh, projecting my freaking experience, but I mean, I feel like this applies to different artists. Just they no longer view Inktober as fun halfway through because they're like, oh no, if I don't stick to this or if I don't stick to the list, I'm a failure. It's just like everyone's gonna think I'm a loser. Which I don't think everyone goes that far into it, but yeah, it's just it can be kind of sad when you see people are just getting frustrated and being like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, like because you don't have to. It's if you don't want to stick to prompts, you can do whatever you want. It's just you can even quit. Heck, you don't have to have a full set. Um, but yeah, people can sometimes really get themselves like attached to the idea of finishing Inktober, to have like to get that feeling of an accomplishment. When really Inktober is just a month where artists decide to like participate in it in this thing and have fun with it or like have some more drawings ideas, something to just fill in the time, get that sense of accomplishment, but it's not a necessary thing. Like it can be really hard seeing all other artists, participating in October, and you might feel left out after a while, but really it, you should only do October if you have the lifestyle for it. So if like you're like a really busy person and you're coming home tired and the last thing you want to do is look in your sketchbook and, you know, uh, stress over Inktober, then don't do it. It's just it sounds simple, but I know for some people it's just like you see other people, you want to do it, you want to participate, but really you know yourself better than anyone else real on the internet. Like people on the internet don't know you as well as you know yourself. And if you know that Inktober is going to be way too stressful for the type of lifestyle you have, you should not feel any type of pressure to participate because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to suffer if like you try to do it. And I feel like that's one of the bigger cons of Inktober in general, not just sticking to a list. Um, it's just feeling pressure to keep on producing and kind of becoming like a robot and producing endless Inktober stuff. So yeah, it should be about having fun and expressing yourself in a different way than maybe you normally would. Because normally I'm like a marker, colored pencil type of gal, and this Inktober I've just been doing pen, like black and white drawings. Because in my previous Inktober's I did include color, but this year I was just like, I'll see how it goes with just a ballpoint pen. And it's been going quite fine. This whole video just came up because I was really struggling with some of the prompts until I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I want. I really don't know why I had this whole crisis of, oh, I have to stick to prompts. Probably because of that same thing, feeling pressure to like not even from anyone else, just feeling pressure from myself to continue to the prompts. But ever since I stopped sticking to the prompts on days where the words I didn't like them or they were just too hard and I was too busy to complete an Inktober, it was nice to just do whatever I wanted. And that's what I feel like I want to keep Inktober like for next year. If I participate next year, like I can't plan too far in advance. Um, just do like a mix of prompts and some of my own stuff. Cause, oh my god, I missed doing fan art so much throughout this whole thing. Because at first I was just doing drawings of my OCs and like different, um, just weird stuff, basically. And I did do some fan art, but it was mostly just trying to stick to doing original stuff. And oh my gosh, it's my rainbow eraser, my big old freaking rainbow eraser. But yeah, where was I? Uh, yeah, I just decided to rebel against the prompts and do my own freaking thing because it's fun. And I feel like if you're out there and you're struggling with Inktober, it's okay, my dude. You're gonna get through this. You're gonna have the most epic drawings. And even if you decide to quit halfway through, or if you quit on the first day, that's totally okay too, dude. Because you know yourself better than anyone else. And if you wanted to stop doing Inktober, then that's totally fine. Self care. Love yourself. You are awesome. Okay, let me stop. I'm just gonna go on a uh, whole rant about how you're amazing, and that's probably gonna be really weird from someone who doesn't even know you. So yeah. Oh my god, how much erasing did I do throughout this video? Yeah, that's another thing about Inktober stuff. I never get rid of the freaking pencil lines. Then I end up having to erase a lot, and the pens I use are pretty cheap, so yeah. Alright, it's done. There it is. So, until next time, my dudes. Oh, wait, I'm gonna do something really dumb. Wait, oh my